Now, Jimmy Barnes sang about it, so did Dolly Parton and Donna Summer. Work. From a working class man to working 9 to 5, and of course she works hard for her money. But one academic believes it's time for New Zealanders to work fewer hours. There was a total of 2.5 million people who reported work in the census, with data showing on average Kiwis work 37.2 hours a week, which is actually down from 38.1 in 2013. But just under 300 people claimed they worked 168 hours a week. Huh? Now that's every hour of the day. To work through this, excuse the pun, I am joined by Dr Paula O'Kane, Senior Lecturer at Department of Management for Otago University. Paula, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am good. Hey, look, thank you for your time today, Paula. First of all, 273 people claimed to work 168 hours a week. How is that?
I would suggest that that's people who are potentially maybe self-employed or who are on-call jobs that require them to be available 24/7, often associated with small businesses. And it could also be people who have a lot of caring responsibilities, who are looking after potentially adult children or parents, and that they see that as part of their work. So I would say that that's probably very much how they see their job, and that those sorts of people actually do need some support.
Right, okay. So if someone was, though, looking after their parents, which is great, I'm sure a lot of people do, that's not classed as work, though, is it? Because they're not getting, it's not a paid job. Yeah, technically it's not classed as work, but we are seeing more and more recognition of the unpaid labour that goes on. And again, remember, the census is self-reported data, so people may well have said that they viewed it as work even if they weren't being paid for it. We don't have any way of double-checking that. So people could consider that to be part of what their job is, even though it isn't paid. Right. There's been a slight drop in the hours that we work weekly. Would that be in part as many people have part-time jobs, do you think?
Yeah, we'd have to unpack that a little bit. So it could be that we've got more people in part-time roles and that would reduce it. It could be that we've got more people working from home, and some people may think of their commute as part of their working time. It might be that actually if we're working from home that we're working more effectively, and so we're having to put in less hours. So there's lots of different ways that we could unpack that. But I think that the good thing is that people are working less hours, and people should be working less hours.
Yeah, so we do have a productivity problem in New Zealand. More hours doesn't necessarily mean more productivity, does it?
Absolutely not. And I think this is what we've been sort of talking about a lot within academia, and it's been in the media very much and highlighted from the government's perspective whenever they wanted people to come back to the office. We find that people actually can be more efficient working from home because they have got more time to concentrate. So what we should be looking at is trying to look at people's outcomes. So what are we actually doing in our job? What are we achieving? How is that impacting the bottom line of the company? How is that impacting our employee well-being? How is that impacting all of the different measures that we use? And actually, input-based measures are pretty simplistic. If all we do is look at the hours people work, we're not getting a very good picture of what we're actually achieving.
Oh, that's interesting that you said that, actually, yes. So we look at more the hours on the clock than actually getting the job done. So it's probably, we're talking working smarter, this saying, smarter, not harder. Yeah. And having employers place a high level of trust in their employees, giving them autonomy to trust them to do their job, giving them control over how, when, where they do their jobs. And whenever you give people those sorts of elements of what we call a high quality job, you actually find that they do work more efficiently because they can balance out how they prefer to work. Everybody's quite different and unique. So whenever we provide that control, which can mean that we actually get more done in a shorter period of time.